What up? What up? Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start the show by being transparent. And I didn't place a bet yesterday. I had zero bets. I did the show. We talked some things out, but I just didn't love anything.
You didn't
So
grab the Suns at plus money, bro?
I liked them. I did like them. And then I went on your show and heard you talking about the Suns, and I just didn't have more time to look at it at the end of the day. So I did leave some money on the table there. Happy that you cashed. How was yesterday
Oh
for you?
no, I went 1-2 overall. But I should have bet the Suns heavier, to be honest. And the one that I was the Pistons blew a 20-point lead. All I need was the Pistons to cover -2, and it would have been a good night. But the Pistons choke away a huge lead. But
Yeah,
overall, that cold streak I was on is over. Though I had a couple of really nice days in there, so I'm in high spirits.
love to hear that. And I do something called capping the capper. We have a lot of these great cappers in the chat. I talk to a lot of smart people like yourself. And when I heard you on your show yesterday talking about that Suns game, I was like, this has to be the play of the day. Like, this is
No,
the play
I
he
should have
absolutely
been.
loves.
I just hated how the Suns were on the fifth game of that road trip. I didn't like the spot, but I loved the matchup.
Well, you're absolutely right. It was never even close from the first quarter. So we'll see
Yeah,
if
they
we can
beat them
find
up.
something like that today. I'll apologize to the chat because I had my guy Wham Bam in town, and we went and hung out and watched the games, and it becomes like almost a competition when we're
Wait, WAM Wham, the guy on Twitter?
yeah.
Oh shit, I like that guy.
Yeah, he's real cool, man. I've known Wham for we're in 2024, maybe like 7 years now. And really cool guy. We had a good time. We had a lot of drinks, and it was a little bit slower this morning.
The
So
question is, did you watch LSU Iowa?
I watched it all. Yeah.
Yo, what a game! That was my first. I've never watched that was my first time watching a women's game this year. I was like, this is the best basketball game I've watched in a month. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was. I was happy that Angel Reese came back, that she wasn't at least like I didn't want to see the game without her play when I saw her go
Nah,
down early in the game. But
yeah,
Caitlin was amazing.
oh yeah, Caitlin Clark's obviously the best player of all time, but there's so many people. I don't know, like so many people like blindly hate Angel Reese, and I had never watched her, and I've heard so many people say like, "Oh, she's not even the best player on her team." I don't know how after watching that you're saying that she's not the best player on LSU. She was awesome.
She is. And they have a few good players over there, but nobody could outshine Caitlin Clark last night. She and Iowa, they all got their revenge on LSU from last year. So great game, and should be another good game with Paige and UConn versus Caitlin Clark on Friday. I'm interested to watch that. And Kyle, let me ask you, are you gonna bet WNBA? Do you bet WNBA at all?
Nah, I mean, I brought on a guy to do WNBA 2 years ago to post picks on the website, and I was going to tail, and I was like, oh, I got a WNBA guy now. Let's get into it. Nobody was looking at the posts. Like, I'm paying this guy, and he's posting the picks, and they're getting like 81 views on the website. So I had to let him go. But it wasn't because I have the lack of interest. It was just didn't support itself.
I get it. And it is a league that doesn't get a lot of attention. Like, everybody doesn't love it. It's either you love it or a lot of people hate it. But I'll let you know. I'll be here betting it all summer long. So if you ever want to talk
Yep.
WNBA, you can
Yeah, I
find me
mean, if
here.
are you doing a show talking WNBA?
I will. And
Oh,
last
hell
year I
yeah. I'll
wasn't
be
as
tuning in, man.
dedicated, but this year I plan to be extremely dedicated. Last year I was partying all summer and like halfway doing WNBA, but this year it'll be a lot less partying and a lot
Oh
more
yeah, I'm
focusing.
down to watch the show and tell you, but as far as will I personally be looking into it, probably not.
Saturated said if Beaver was the WNBA guy, you get tens more views. All right, let's get to today. We have 9 games on the slate. We'll do something a little bit different today. We're not going to touch every single game. Kyle also has a show later, and I'll be doing a show later. So I'm sure at some point we will talk about every single game. For this one, we'll focus on the ones that we feel a little bit stronger about. So we'll go in rotation order, the ones that we actually like. And first game up is a good one. 563, or at least, one I want to talk about. 563, 564. Lakers and Raptors. Lakers open as a huge favorite, minus 12 and a half. You now see them still 12. Total has increased, though, 4 points to 234. Injury report for these two teams. I do see Jackson Hayes, Anthony Davis, and LeBron all game time decision. Hayes is the only one that's probable. For the Raptors, a lot of people are out. The usual suspects who've been out lately, but it
Not
looks like
me.
getting back quickly and Barrett. Yeah, quickly and Barrett. So I'll kick it to you first. I'm interested. I'll let you know. I'll give you a hint. I want to attack the total. So I'm more interested in the total than the side. How
I
do you
mean, I would hope you're looking towards the over. Okay,
absolutely?
good. That's what I would do also. But I have money on this game. I'm holding a ticket. I faded your boys here. I took the points. I got 12 and a half. I'm not exactly thrilled with it. And I'm not going to sit here and pound the table here to we got to take the Raptors. But this is a huge number laying on the road. And if you remember what the Raptors looked like when they had Quickly and Barrett in the lineup, they did look different. I'm not saying they were a great team, but the fast break was working. They were able to give some teams problems, especially when they played teams who may not have been in the most motivated spot. Where I'm not saying the Lakers aren't going to be motivated, but you certainly have to question it on the road in Toronto. I mean, this isn't a huge game for the Lakers. This is the type of team that has given the Lakers problems. And I know not everyone likes these trends. I'm going to read off three of them. This is not the reason for the bet. I think they're interesting. So the Lakers on the season, 3-6 against the spread against the top 5 teams in pace, 3-6 against the spread against the top 5 teams in fast break frequency, 2-9 against the spread against the top 5 defenses in fast break frequency, against defenses that don't let you get in the fast break. All three of those describe Toronto on the full season. The question is, do you just throw Barrett and Quickly back out there and all of a sudden they're good? Is there an adjustment period? That's why this is not a big bet. And that's why if Skee came on and was about to take the Lakers, I wouldn't even have made it a title match here because I don't feel that strongly about it. We're getting 12 and a half points at home with a team that I think is going to be more motivated. And I think that a team that's going to be able to get out in transition on the Lakers. So, yeah, I got Raps at plus 12 and a half.
Well, I'll disagree with you first, and I'll say that I don't. I disagree that the Raptors are the more motivated team here tonight. I mean, they're eliminated from the playoffs. What are they really even motivated to play for?
Then why do they bring it Quickly and Barrett back?
I mean, those guys they got to earn their check.
Yo, I'm just saying. Usually, when we see teams not caring, they don't even rush to bring their guys back to finish out the season.
Maybe they want to see what they have. They want to get more of a rhythm rolling into next season. Maybe something along those lines. But the Lakers, they may not have motivation to win by 12. I'll give you that. But they do need to win. As far as the standings are concerned, they are in that 9th spot. And I think they're a game and a half above the Warriors. And let's see. They're either a game and a half or 2 games um, away from that 7th spot. So Lakers do have a lot to play for in this game, and Lakers have been playing better. They've covered 4 of their last 5. Raptors have covered 1 of their last 9. Another thing I'll say is, yes, Quickly and RJ should make the Raptors a lot better. But when the stars come back in that first game, I think it takes a little bit of adjusting
I hear
to
that.
get going. At the same time, something I do like from the Raptors, and it's crazy that this is all happening and they're still losing by margin, but they've had back-to-back games where they had 30 plus assists. Like the offense doesn't look to be too much of the problem. It's just they can't really stop anybody. So they've lost back-to-back games by double digits. Lakers off a double-digit win themselves, I think. So I don't know. I personally feel like his team's going opposite directions. I wanted to get there with the Lakers, but I I, I didn't love it enough to go push confirm.
A
I
couple other things. So the Raptors defense is terrible, and the Lakers should get whatever they want at the basket. There's no debating that. But two things the Raptors defense have done recently, they've created turnovers, which protecting the basketball is a thing here and there for the Lakers. They're not terrible with turnovers, but they're not great protecting the ball. And also, the Raptors aren't fouling anybody. The Raptors don't really send people to the line like that. In fact, on the full season, they're 3rd in defensive free throw rate, which is huge against the Lakers. We're getting to the line is important for that offense. I don't know. I think there's enough evidence for a Raptors bet, and I placed it. But again, I don't.
here's something that I think could be correct. 2 people saying this. They'll be playing for RJ's brother and Quickly's uncle, and
Yeah, they
they say
both
that's the
lost. Yeah.
reason they'll be motivated tonight, and that I can absolutely understand that. So I like the over. I do think, regardless, whether they're making shots or not, quickly is going to bring pace, a lot more pace to this team. Raptors, the second worst defense the last 5 games. Lakers, number one in pace the last 5 games. And just that sign, I mean, outside of getting those guys back, when you have back to back games and you see 30 plus assists, that's a sign of a team that's doing something right on the offensive end. So, combination of those things, I think the over is the correct side here, and the market agrees. So, you can have the Raptors. I'll take the total.
I'll take the
just, give,
Raptors. I'm
just give
in.
me a Lakers win. Lakers win, Raptors cover, and I'll be happy.
A 121-120 final score. Everyone goes home happy. Everyone goes home
Yep.
richer.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, we'll skip 565, 566. We'll move over to 567, 568. Thunder and Philadelphia opened up Thunder -5. They're down to 2-point favorites.
Yeah, it's
Total open
2.5 now.
total open 226.5, and it's down like 6 points, 5 points, 5.5, something like that.
Well, I think because Maxey, it's looking like he might play now.
Okay. Well, wait.
Or is it SGA might not play? Maxey and SGA are both questionable, making this game really tough. I'll tell you though,
Jalen Williams is out too.
yeah, I'm telling you, I want to bet Philly here. Oklahoma City's got the Celtics on deck on TNT tomorrow. So I want to bet Philly here. But I mean, if I place this bet, I don't have this ticket, but if I place this bet, if I take Philly plus 2.5 right now, and it turns out that SGA plays and Maxey doesn't, I might as well throw it in the trash. So I don't know. I think the move here would be to take Philly, but with the injury question marks, I don't know if it's responsible to pull the trigger right now on it.
Yeah, I think this is when you might have to wait a little bit. Sixers have been playing good against the number. At least they've covered 5 out of 6. Thunder have kind of been the opposite. Thunder, like you said, for one, they're coming off a win as a dog. Kind of think that it's a spot where they could exhale a little bit, and like you said, probably care a little bit more about facing a Celtics team tomorrow. So, I can't talk you off.
And also, the Thunder are kind of back to their old ways. Remember how the Thunder, like out of nowhere, were starting to rebound well, and it was like, wait a second, this team can't rebound. Well, it looks like in the last 5 games, in the last handful of games, last 10 games, they're coming back to earth as far as they're looking like a bad rebounding team again. Philly has really nice hit rates against bad rebounding teams. Weirdly enough, like 9-5 against the spread against the bottom 5 offensive rebounding teams, 6-4 against the bottom 5 defensive rebounding teams. So there's something there, but I mean, a lot of those records are going to be when Embiid was playing, so they would probably be tossed right in the trash. But yeah, I think the spot, I think it's Philly, but I mean, can you imagine buying a Philly plus 2.5 ticket and then Maxey ruled out, SGA ruled in? Like it's like
Disaster.
What the hell am I doing here?
Yeah, I feel you on that. I would absolutely wait on this game. So
the question is, if SGA plays and Maxey doesn't, where does this line close? Because if we're talking, it's going to close at like 8. I might be down to buy in at Philly at plus 8, even without Maxey. But I mean, they do have the Celtics on deck, a big one in Boston on TNT, huge game tomorrow.
We see this all the time too, where like the star player gets rolled out, the other team takes it easy on them, and there's guys who are coming into the lineup who are wanting to prove themselves and show up. So I could absolutely see that if this line does balloon. I think I agree with your thought process on this game and how to approach when to get in. So injury report, we'll just wait and see, and then we can attack this game.
Sounds good.
Next game, we'll go 569, 570, New York and Miami. Open Heat look like a 3-point favorite. Currently only moved 0.5 point. And the total hasn't moved, but it's low. 206.5. For the injury report for these two teams, you have Mitchell Robinson, game time decision. They'll continue to be without OG Anunoby and Julius Randle. Dwayne Washington and Charlie Brown, both game time, but probable.
I believe it doesn't look good for Randall, by the way. I don't even think there's a time. They've released a report. I don't even know if there's a timetable yet.
Yeah, that was suck for the Knicks team. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a Randall fan, but he's a player that they could absolutely use.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's all right though. Like I don't think he's great, but he's definitely like he could rebound, he could score. He's not. He might be a little overvalued, but he's definitely a solid player.
I'll just put it like this: I was extremely elated when they got rid of him from the Lakers. That's just what I'll say. I was
I
very,
think
very
both
happy.
the Lakers and Randall needed that relationship to end.
I agree. So this Heat team, they'll miss Hero, have a lot of guys game time, Rozier, Duncan Robinson, but they're all probable. Looks like they'll have those guys in the lineup. This one, the Heat have a chance to get a little bit of revenge. They lost by double digits last time they played this Knicks team. You do have the Knicks, though, in a bounce back spot. They did just lose as a favorite, and they've covered 4 of their last 5 games. So, not the game I felt the strongest about, but I'm not really into laying points with Miami. I know it's not a big ass -2.5. I just personally think of Miami as more of a dog team in general. And the Knicks, I feel like have been playing good enough to keep it close, if not win the game themselves. So lean Knicks right now. How do you feel about it?
I'm in on the under. I got it at this number, 206.5. I'm a little worried. So if you just look on paper from these two teams, it's like, how do you not play the under? Pace, I mean, two of the slower paces in the NBA, both
Mhm.
elite defenses, both questionable offenses. Neither really runs the fast break. It's like, how do you not play the under? But the Knicks are 6-1 to the over in their last 7, which is like, it's killing me. I already bought, I'm in. I'm holding an under 206.5 ticket, but the Knicks keep going over. But if you look at the Knicks schedule, a couple of those overs, they hung huge numbers on really bad teams. They put up like 140 on Toronto, 129 on the Pistons or something. That's not going to happen on the road in Miami. Both these teams tend to be running faster paces as of late than they normally do. But I think when they play each other, they'll both get back to their roots in a sense where, like, they will both want to play defense. They both want to play in the half court. And I think this is an under game. To me, I think we don't have a great feel for either of these teams right now because neither team has played a decent opponent. I mean, strength of schedule from these two teams in the last 5 games, 29th and 27th. Both these teams have been playing garbage. So I really don't know where they both stand. This game will actually tell us give us a better idea of where these two teams stand right now. So yeah, I'm in on the under, but these Knicks keep going over, man. So I'm a little worried about it.
You know, my thought process, we talked about this too. At one point, well, when the Knicks first got OG, their defense just like skyrocketed. Everything was going under. They were playing really good. Then he got hurt around like the end of that month in January. I remember you sent me the graphics and we are talking about why. And they just couldn't play any defense anymore. Then there was a stretch where OG was still out and they started to figure it out.
They're figuring it out, definitely.
So I'm kind of unsure what to do with this total, but totals like this do tend to be low for a reason. I'll say Miami, after a win, they are 28-12 to the under. Knicks off of a loss, play a little bit better defense. They're 21-9 to the under. And like Kyle said, neither team is playing with pace. So I would agree. If we're betting the total, it is absolutely under. Let's keep going down the list. We have Houston and Minnesota opened up T Wolves -8.5 and down to 7.5.
I laid
Total
it.
open.
I laid them here. I did it. I'm in. I'm in. I laid it.
Let me see who's available. Everybody's available. Okay. I'll say this. The Rockets have been pretty bad on the road, but they're playing damn good right now. So let us know why you like the T Wolves.
The question is against who? Skee? Who are they playing well against? Riddle me that. I mean, I just realized I'm wearing a Rockets hat and I'm on Minnesota here unintentionally. So I like the matchup for Minnesota across the board here. In fact, I don't even really know any aspect of this game where I think Houston has the advantage. Now, no question, Houston's playing great. And I think a big part in basketball, any sport, is they're playing with a lot of confidence. I think Houston believes they can win this game, which definitely is not something like you want when you're laying a big number. You want it to be against a team that you believe is going to give up, like go down 15 in the
Mhm.
second quarter. It's going to say fuck, screw it. So I don't like that aspect of it. That Houston probably thinks they could beat Minnesota in Minnesota, but the thing is, I don't think they can. Just real quickly go through it. Yeah, Houston's got some nice looking numbers as of late, but I mean, the last 10 games, they're 30th in strength of schedule. We just saw what happened. I went big on Dallas the other night against Houston, beat the hell out of them. I thought that was like, welcome back to earth, Houston. See what happens when you have to play a playoff team. And I think we're looking at the same thing. We got a Minnesota team at home coming off an embarrassing loss where they were like 8-point favorites and didn't win. I had Bulls money line in that. That was awesome. So you got a Minnesota team that's going to be pissed off here. I know the T-Wolves are on the first leg of a back-to-back, but the game tomorrow is against like the Raptors, I think, or someone meaningless.
Toronto, yeah.
It is Toronto. So it's against somebody. This is a much more important game for Minnesota at home, coming off a loss to the Bulls. I think they want to beat the hell out of the Rockets here. And I just don't see how the Rockets can compete in this game. The Rockets are shooting the three ball a lot, right? That's what's been a big part of this hot streak. All of a sudden, they're this great 3-point shooting team. Well, you know what? The 3-point shooting numbers are starting to fall and come back down to normal. And we just saw what happened when they played a good defense. Dallas is playing excellent defense right now. They couldn't get it going. Minnesota really good at limiting opponents' 3-point shot attempts, meaning they put a lot of pressure on the perimeter. They basically dare you to come inside and try to score on Gobert. It's not what the Rockets want to do, man. They're not much of an interior scoring team without Şengün. So this Rockets team that's been really reliant on shooting these outside shots, Minnesota's going to put full pressure on the perimeter, say, go ahead, come inside and try to score on us on the inside. And I don't think they're going to be able to do it. And then on the other side, kind of the same story. Rockets defense. They've been playing really good defense on the outside. Without Şengün, their defense on the interior has fallen off. 27th at the basket in the last 5 games. Minnesota's a pretty solid offense as far as interior scoring goes. So I like the matchup for Minnesota across the board. Minnesota also plays great defense against the fast break, something else Houston likes to do. Not thrilled with the idea. I got it at 7, actually. So, but I'm not thrilled at the idea of laying 7 points to like a really motivated, like confident team like the Rockets. But I think on paper, we're dealing with a good team pissed off at home against a much worse team. So I'm pretty comfortable here. I'm on Minnesota -7.
You know, I can't help but think the last thing that you said, it reminds me of college. And I know NBA is a lot different than college, but we've seen a lot of teams who I've thought not the better team take advantage of being hot right now and knock some guys off, like NC State has been doing. And that's just reminding me of how Houston is playing right now. Both teams are playing good, and both teams need to win. The Timberwolves are a half game behind Denver, I believe, for that second spot, and the Rockets are chasing that last play-in spot. So they called him. I think they called him "Feed the Family." Jalen Green. He's been a different animal.
Yeah.
Ever since that came out. So I really have a hard time betting against that, and I'll pull some of your tricks on you, Kyle. So I'll look at a couple things, but I'll start off with yours. We're looking at how both teams shoot the three, right? We'll look specifically at the above the break three. Timberwolves allow, at least the last 5 games, top 5 in attempts, and that's where the Rockets are shooting all their 3-pointers at. So if they're getting open threes where they want to take them from, they might end up having some success today. I look at some other things the Rockets have been doing. They've been the better offensive team, and they've been a solid defense, although Timberwolves have been better. Surprisingly, last 5 games, Timberwolves a bottom 10 rebounding team, Rockets top 5. So if Rockets can have the
against
better
who
offense,
though? They're racking up good rebounding numbers against who?
I mean, I'd have to look at.
Oh,
who the
congrats!
Timberwolves
You
have
won
been
the
playing
rebounding
too.
battle against the Wizards twice. Damn. Where do
The
I mail
Rockets
the
did
Where do I
beat
mail the
OKC.
trophy?
They did beat OKC.
Yeah, but
I mean,
OKC isn't even look that good right now. The last 2 games, they barely beat Utah. They got their asses beat by Dallas. The Rockets are back to earth. The Rockets are back.
I'll say this: Minnesota did play Denver and Golden State. They also played Chicago, Detroit, and
Chicago was
Cleveland.
the letdown spot. Coming off a huge game against Denver. I bet the Bulls money line at +300 in that game because I was like, guys, Minnesota, they just beat Denver in Denver. They're celebrating right now. Now that was their wake-up call. Minnesota by double digits here.
So does Minnesota win because of the offense, or is it they're just going to clamp them down on defense?
Both. I think this is pointing towards a beatdown here. I think this is a blowout game, but obviously don't go alt line in Minnesota -14.5 because I said that. I think the value's on Minnesota. I think the Rockets are officially back to earth.
Well, I'll let you win this one because I don't even have Rockets in my pocket. So you win. I'll root for you and your Timberwolves, and we'll keep moving down the list. Next game we'll skip a couple, and we'll go to the last 2 on the card. We'll
Couple
go
good
Kings.
games.
Yeah, Kings and Clippers opened up Clippers -2. We've seen a flip of favorites, and I must have missed something. I did not see that.
When I was looking last night, it was Kings plus 1.5, unless it like opened before that.
Yeah, so now the Kings are -2, is what I'm saying.
Oh, Kings are -2 now?
They're -2.
Oh,
So
what?
I'm looking. Is anybody out
Kawhi
here?
out. Kawhi
Kawhi.
out. Holy
I'm like
shit, I didn't even
something.
see that.
Something's got to be up. But
Why
the
didn't I bet the
Kings,
Kings,
they're
man?
without Malik Monk. I mean, he did just get hurt. He's a big part of what they do. And I'm blanking out, but they just had another big injury too. Um, I feel like the Kings for me are hard to trust. And you know this. You've been a person who has not had a hard time betting the Kings.
No.
The Clippers,
Kings have been good to me. Fading them, betting them, they've been good to me.
I'll say this: the Clippers haven't been playing their best basketball. They've covered one of their last six. It's their fourth straight game on the road. They could be a little tired, but it is a spot if they care about getting some revenge because they lost by double digits to this team. I personally think the Kings are, vulnerable. I do think both teams need to win this game. I guess gun to my head, if I had to play it, you know, I'm going to check one thing. I know the Kings have been playing better defense lately, but can we trust the Clippers yet? And I don't think the answer is yes. How do you feel about it?
I am in on this game, but I actually took the under.
So that's what I
And
want to get to.
it's hard to take an under with the Clippers defense right now, though.
Exactly. But the pace of play for both
The
teams is
pace of
amazing.
play, exactly. These two teams are playing two of the slowest paces in the NBA right now. The Kings have completely switched up the way they're playing. This is a defensive centered team right now, which is not really how the Kings are branded. That's not what we think of when we think of the Kings. We think of Fox, Sabonis. We don't think of them as a defensive rebounding first type team, but that's how they're playing right now. They're trending towards the under. Actually, you know what? Let me pull it up. I think the Kings have been trending towards the under pretty heavily. That's right here.
They have
Sorry.
gone under 6 of their last 7.
6 of their last 7. Now, the Clippers have been going over. I think the Clippers are like 5-1 the over in their last 6. So the Clippers have been an over team, but I think both of these teams are down to play slow-paced, half-court basketball. The clip, like Skee said, this is a big game for the Clippers. They're going to be up for this one. Even without Kawhi, I expect them to give us their best defensive effort. Now, what that consists of is a different type of situation. But the one thing the Clippers don't do is foul. So I don't expect the Kings to get many trips to the free throw line here. Neither team should be able to force turnovers in this game, which I know you think that helps the offense, but usually that also can result in longer possessions and no fast breaks, which actually could help an under at times. The Kings don't let anybody get out on the fast break. They're actually first in defensive frequency in that. They don't let you run the fast break on them. So, yeah, I think the under's the move here. I got it at 223, another one where I've been cleaning up with CLV the last month. That's really resulted in a ton of money. Yeah. CLV is worth shit recently. But yeah, I got the under at 223. And I said in the video I uploaded last night, I said, I'm on the under. I want to bet the Kings. I wish I had Kings +2 in my pocket, but I don't.
Well, I do not want the Kings, but I do want to get there with the under. I do. I'll tell you something I don't like, and you can tell me how you feel about it. Above the break, 3-point percentage allowed, both bottom 5.
Yeah.
Above the break, 3-point percentage, both top 10 last 5 games.
Yeah,
that's not something that I would want to see.
They've been shooting.
but the pace, as long if we get just like a pocket where they're just missing a few shots there, the pace should get the under home. So,
yeah, we should be seeing 20-second possessions in this game. Like 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. And that kills an over. Even if shots are falling, that kills an over. Just a slow pace. So just the pace alone leads me to an under. And I think the number is a little too high based on like how people feel about these teams, like Clippers and Kings. I feel like everyone thinks offensive firepower. No one really thinks slow paced games. So I'm comfortable on my under. That being said, I'm not huge on this. It's not a huge bet. But yeah, I'm in on the under.
Fair enough. I'll think about it a little bit more, and I'll try to get there with you to the window. Let's move to the last game on the slate, and that will be Mavericks Warriors. Opened up. Well, Warriors are -1, right where it opened, and the total has dropped about 2.5 points to 232. Dallas will be without Josh Green. Looks like Lively is game time for the Warriors. Both Kaminga and Klay Thompson are game time, but Clay is probable. Stark is out. So this one, another big game, right? Warriors trying to keep the Rockets off their ass, trying to move up in the standings, and the Mavericks, same kind of deal. They're currently in fifth. They're two games behind fourth, and they have the Pelicans right on their bumper by half a game. So very easily, Mavs can still go right back into the play-in tournament. In games like this, where it matters for both teams, I think we'll see a lot better, defensive effort, and that's what we've been seeing from both of these teams anyway. Both top five defensive rated teams last 5 games. Both teams trending towards the under. I think that's how this game is played as well. I think it'll be lower scoring. If I had to play a side, I'll just say this, and you can tell me how you feel about it. The Mavericks might be like the hottest team in the NBA right now,
Damn right.
and they're an underdog. I
I know.
think that is very,
It's
very
freaking me
fishy.
out. It's freaking me out, honestly.
Now, on the flip side, the Warriors, they've been playing good too, and they're on a winning streak. And I think the reason the Mavs are an underdog is because the Warriors have been playing good, and it's a chance for them to get that same season double revenge, and they just desperately need this game. So I think you get max effort from the Warriors. Not that you don't get great effort from the Mavericks. It's just if I had to put my money on it, I'm leaning more towards the Warriors. How do you feel?
It's a tough one. So first of all, what you said about the under, 100% agree, except these two teams always go over when they play. They're like 9-2 to the over their last 11 meetings. I have it open right now, 6-1 to the over in their last 7 meetings. These two teams, whatever's going on, Warriors and Mavericks becomes a track meet every time. So because I was thinking the same thing, like this number's high. These two teams are playing decent defense. How do we not take the under? They keep going over. That's why. But yeah, what you said, I don't. The line freaks me out. Dallas is probably the best team in the NBA right now. They're second in overall efficiency in the last 10 games against the 9th strongest schedule. So they're putting up the best numbers in the NBA, and they're playing a difficult schedule in the process. I don't know what Golden State. On paper, there's nowhere Golden State can score. Dallas probably has the best 3-point defense in the NBA right now. They're also protecting the basket at a top 5 rate in the NBA. I bet Dallas. I have Dallas money line at minus 104 in my pocket. But this line makes me think that there's the odds makers like Golden State here, because anybody who's been following the NBA is betting Dallas in this spot. I guess I really don't know. The line, I think Dallas should be laying about 3. So I mean, not to mention Dallas 9-2 against the spread in their last 11 on the road. Golden State 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 at home. You got an excellent, one of the best road teams in the NBA on the road against one of the worst home teams. What am I missing?
Well, some other things in this matchup, I'll say it is the 5th straight road game for the Mavericks. Possibly could be a little bit tired, but at the same time, Warriors just wrapped up with a 5-game road trip and coming back home from the East Coast. That's a flat spot as well. I mean, if we're thinking one team is tired, one team is coming out flat in a big game that they both need, I can't help but think defense trumps the offense. And if we look, I'm gonna come back at you from that point about they always go over. They could, but if we just look at how they've been playing lately, I want to say like the Mavs last 6 or 7 games have not reached this number. And for the Warriors, probably their last 5 games haven't gotten close either. So I just think they're playing a different way right now. And just the magnitude that this game has, I'm most confident with the under.
Yeah, I wasn't saying I'd take the over. I was just saying that's what's scary about it. I would go under as well if I was betting the total. But another thing to look at for those of you that like this kind of stuff, Golden State goes on the road to Houston after this. So, like, the party doesn't end for Golden State. They got another huge game right after this. Dallas goes home to play the Hawks, a game that means one of the least. So, I mean, it's a TNT game, Mavericks Warriors. They're getting up for it. But Dallas might have it in their mindset, like, guys, last game of the road trip, let's get this W, and then we can relax for a couple days. I think all signs point to Dallas being the play, except for the line. The line is scaring the shit out of me, but I'm in
Line
on
is
Dallas.
begging you to take Dallas.
Yeah, why? Why?
So I guess I didn't run to the window and bet it. So I don't know. Like I said, I like the total more. That's what I'm actually on. I wish you luck on your Mavericks. And we made it through the card quick and easy, about 30, a little bit 35 minutes. I don't think that was too bad for the 6 games that we discussed. So it is about that time where we move on over to the best bet segment. But before I do, make sure you guys, if you don't already, follow Kyle on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at Kyle Kirms, and also make sure you guys go check him out on YouTube. He does a show. He does shows all day long, all different sports. So whatever you're interested in, I'm pretty sure there'll be good sports betting content there for you. And your YouTube is also Kyle Kirms, correct?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, great work from Kyle. So make sure you guys check him out. And if there's anything that I missed that you would also like to promote, feel free, Kyle. And also maybe, I'll play you like a little bit more for the show today.
Well, actually, the 5 bets I have, I bet them all evenly. So I don't really have a top bet tonight, but if I had to pick one, it's an ugly one. I think Minnesota's going to beat the shit out of Houston. So I honestly think Minnesota -7 might be my top play. I'm just scrolling through. Skee, we didn't talk about the game, but I think Spurs +16 might be worth a look. I didn't bet it, and I didn't really go through it. But I mean, Denver's got a big game on deck. They're at home, laying 16 points. But yeah, I got sidetracked. My bad. I was just looking at the slate. I think Minnesota -7 would be my favorite bet, or maybe the Raps against the bum ass Lakers.
Oh,
you had to throw that in
shots. Yeah, shots at the end there. I think you had the right best bet the first time.
Minnesota. Let's stick with Minnesota.
Some guys in the chat also sharing their best bets, and we will come back and talk about them again tomorrow. Like I said, I apologize for today. And
of course, S-Dot just strolling in now.
Oh yeah. We
just
know
unreliable.
Who your best bet is, S-Dot. I'm pretty sure you'll have a -3 ticket in your pocket today.
S-Dot, there's a train coming to Miami tonight. Train headed right to South Beach. New York Knicks train. That's my team, S-Dot.
Better watch out. For myself, I like 2 plays. Pretty evenly. But I'll go with this. My best bet for the show is going to be Lakers, Raptors over. And the best number you can currently get is 234. I would line shop because BetMGM only does half points. And you can probably still get a 233.5 over there. But Lakers offense has been great. They're playing at the fastest pace right now. Raptors are going to be, faster pace with Quickly and RJ in the lineup. And they've already been playing good offense with 30 plus assists in back-to-back games. So I think it's more of a track meet, more of an offensive game. And we'll go with the over 234 for the show here today.
You can get a 233.5 on BetMGM if you want.
There we go. BetMGM, they always do the half points. That's why I always check there last second. Appreciate you taking the time to come on, Kyle. And like I always say, I appreciate you guys in the chat. A lot of great cappers in there, and we always have a great time on this show. So best of luck if you tell. Good luck, everybody, on all your action. Kyle will be on later. When's your next show?
I have NBA in 41 minutes, and then we do an MLB show later. But I think you're doing a show at the same time. You're doing
okay. So you get more.
Yeah, I got I don't know if anyone knows Guy Boston from YouTube. I got him coming on. He's a funny dude. You guys would like him. But he's coming on today at 3 p.m. Eastern time, 12 p.m. Pacific time.
So you could dig more into NBA with Kyle in about 40 minutes. And then whether you want to look at baseball or some more NBA, you can go back to his next show or my show. So until next time, wish you guys the best of luck. We'll catch you later.